Well, I was harbor master up there in Stamford, Connecticut.
Now, John Sheridan tells us in his own words how a faithful companion was spared by a miraculous visitor.
Hours and hours at a time, doing different things. And I needed a little companionship out there. So I decided I need a good, loyal dog for a friend. When it come time for me to retire, we moved to Virginia. I bought a farm down there where Sale could run through the fields and the woods. I'd throw him with tennis balls and this and that. He always went with me. No matter where I went, if I took a walk in the woods, Sale would be there. If I hopped in the truck to go down to get breakfast, Sale would always be there with me, riding alongside me in the pickup truck, just sitting, happy to be with me. He was content to be with me all the time. One day, I come back from early morning breakfast, and Sailor jumped out of the truck and just collapsed.
Sailor!
He just hit the ground and stayed there. And I knew he hurt himself, but I didn't know to what extent. So I carried him into the house, and I put him alongside the bed, his favorite resting place. And that night, he wouldn't even drink water. He just laid there as if he didn't want to get up. And my wife and I were very concerned about it, so next day, I took him to the vets to see what was the matter with him. The vet examined him, took x-rays, and found that Sailor had suffered internal injuries and broke some bones. He advised against an operation because of the fact that by then, Sailor was 11 years old. He didn't think he'd survive a major operation like that. We brought Sailor back from the vets, and I brought him back into the bedroom, put him in his bed, and he laid for another 2 days without moving. He wouldn't even drink water. He just laid there as if he didn't want to get up. I told my wife, I think we're going to put Sailor to sleep. She says all her prayers are for Sailor. She felt that God would send an angel to help him, some kind of help. I really didn't think such a thing would happen. Next morning, I got up and went out on the front porch and just killing time until the vet would be open to take Sailor down. I happened to look up and I saw this dog walking down the driveway. She walked all the way down into the yard and she walked right up to me. She turned around and walked into the room where Sailor was sleeping. She walked right up to him and nuzzled him a little bit, and Sailor opened his eyes and looked at her, and he slowly got up to his feet. He walked right over to the door, and I let both of them out into the yard. Every step Sailor took, he got stronger.
Celeste!
He looked like a new dog.
Celeste! Come here, look at this.
I says, look at that. She says, Sailor's walking. God sent an angel to help him. I know he did. I know he did. So right away, I ran in and got some food and shoved it in front of Sailor, and he ate it. First time he had eaten in 4 days or perhaps a little more. I looked that dog over. It was a well-mannered dog. Someone must be missing that dog. So I turned her over and I found tattoo numbers on her leg. So I called the radio station up and reported I had found a dog. And about an hour, hour and a half later, I got a call from a lady who described this dog that come into my yard. She even had the numbers written down. She read them off to me. It was her dog. So I gave her directions to my place, which was, about 4 miles from where she lived. Well, she come into the yard and the dog ran up to her and jumped all over her. It seems that she had just moved a few days before from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, And as soon as they pulled into the driveway and opened the car door, her dog had jumped out and ran into the woods.
I'm so happy that I found you, beautiful.
Is this your dog's name?
Yes,
And when
it
she
is.
said that,
Celeste, come here.
my wife started crying again. She says, I knew it, God sent angel to help my sailor. I'm not a religious person, but I could see that. There's something took that dog to those woods right to my house approximately an hour before Sailor was going on his last ride down to the vets. Today, Sailor is 13 years old and just as loving dog as he was before, and more so even.
A faithful pet suddenly restored to health by the simple presence of another animal. It seems impossible, and yet Sailor is even to this day the living proof of a miracle.